Look at the sky over any major city and you will see the future. Electric cars, solar panels, and wind turbines stretching across the horizon. We are told every day that the green revolution has won, and that the age of fossil fuels is a relic of the past. But if you look at the movements of global navies, the secret deals being signed in the Middle East, and the record-breaking 105 million barrels of oil being consumed every single day, a different story emerges. Why is the world's most advanced military still terrified of a single point of failure? Its dependence on liquid fuel. Why are nations that lead the world in green tech suddenly fighting over old-fashioned pipelines in the middle of a conflict? Is oil really fading away? Or is it still the hidden hand that decides which empires rise and which ones fall? In this video, we are going to clear all these confusions or find answer of all these questions in the video. So, let's start. To understand why oil remains the ultimate king of geopolitics, we have to look past the marketing of a cleaner future. The global economy is not just a collection of apps and data. It is a physical machine that requires immense amounts of energy density to move. The first major point of confusion for many people is the idea that oil demand is shrinking. In reality, 2025 has seen oil consumption reach its highest point in human history. The reason is simple. The global south, while Europe and North America are trying to move away from fossil fuels, giants like India and Southeast Asia are just beginning their industrial prime. They aren't choosing between solar and oil, they are devouring both as fast as they can to lift hundreds of millions of people into the middle class. This has created a massive shift in the global map. The center of energy gravity is moving from the west to the east, making the sea lanes of the Indian Ocean the most important and dangerous territory on Earth. This leads us to a fascinating contradiction in the 2025 energy market. We are currently seeing oil prices hit 4-year lows because of a temporary oversupply. Yet governments are acting like they are in a state of emergency. Why? Because the petrodollar system, which has underpinned American power since the 1970s, is starting to crack. For decades, if you wanted to buy oil, you had to have US dollars. This gave Washington an invisible veto over the world economy. But today, we are seeing the rise of energy multipolarity. Countries are increasingly trading oil in yuan, rubles, and even gold. This isn't just a change in currency. It is a direct attack on the financial foundation of the Western world. Another huge source of confusion is the role of the United States. You might hear that the US is now energy independent because it produces more oil than any other country. But independent doesn't mean insulated. Oil is a global commodity. If a drone strike hits a refinery in Saudi Arabia, or a tanker is seized in the Strait of Hormuz, the price of gas in Texas and London goes up instantly. This is the great paradox of 2025. The US is the world's biggest oil producer, but it is still forced to act as the world's policeman to keep global prices stable. The moment the US pulls back, the global economy risks a heart attack. This brings us to the military energy gap. There is a myth that the next great war will be won by AI. While those are important, the war in Ukraine and the tensions in the Middle East have proven that old-fashioned logistics still matter most. Then there is the confusion surrounding the green transition itself. Most people think that moving to electric cars and wind turbines will end our reliance on volatile regions like the Middle East. But the irony is that the transition to green energy requires massive amounts of oil-based infrastructure to build. You need oil-powered ships to move the minerals, oil-powered trucks to build the wind farms, and petrochemicals to create the turbine blades. We are currently in a hybrid era where we need more oil than ever just to build the machines that are supposed to replace oil. This has created a gold rush for critical minerals. But the ships carrying those minerals are still running on heavy crude. As we look toward 2026, the real energy war is no longer just about who has the most oil, but who can control the supply chains of both the old world and the new. China has realized this and has spent the last decade securing both oil fields in the Middle East and lithium mines in South Africa. They are building a double-armored economy that can run on fossil fuels if necessary, but is ready for the electric future. Meanwhile, the West is caught in a political tug-of-war, with some leaders pushing for a total exit from fossil fuels and others demanding drill, baby, drill. This internal confusion is a massive strategic weakness that rivals are eager to exploit. The most dangerous part of this story is the shadow fleet. To bypass sanctions, a massive, unregulated fleet of thousands of aging tankers is now moving oil across the oceans outside of Western oversight. We are moving toward a world of energy fortresses, where the most powerful nations are those that can produce their own fuel, refine their own minerals, and protect their own trade routes. The idea of a global energy market where everyone plays by the same rules is dying.